Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. April here, and it is officially 2019, so we made it, it's here. And I thought today that I would do a get to know me tag and just let you guys get to know me, because I've mostly done educational videos, informational videos as it pertains to your health as a petite, but I want to bring our relationship to the next level. I want to get to know you, you want to get to know me, so let's do it today. If you like this video, please give it a like and a subscribe, and officially starting in 2019, I will be releasing more videos more regularly, so you can look forward to a video from Smalletics once every week. Yay! Okay, so I've just pulled up this random get to know me tag on the interwebs, and I'm just gonna run through the questions that I think are interesting. So yeah, let's do it, huh? What is your full name? You guys already know it's April Whitney. It's April Victoria Whitney, and it says, what does your name mean? Kind of a good story, a funny story. A lot of people ask me, oh, your name's April, so you must be born in April. And I'm like, yeah, obviously. I don't know, not to offend anyone, but I don't know any April that's not born in April. So, but the Victoria does have a good story. I was supposed to be born on St. Patty's Day in March, and I was a few weeks late. I was born April 2nd, and so my parents decided to name me April Victoria, as in an April victory. But of course, April Victoria is like a really long first name, so they were just like, we'll just call her April. Where did you grow up / where were you born? I was born in Connecticut, in a very small little town. Ugh, can't get comfortable. In a very small little town in the northwest corner that nobody's heard of, so I won't even tell you. And fun fact, in this town we had no cell service. We had internet. We had no cell service. So everyone had landlines. And I mean, that was what? That was like a time when everyone had the landline plus the cell phone, but we just had the landlines. We had cell phones if you were gonna like leave the town, but there was no reception at home. You just couldn't use them. And it was actually, I think this is, yeah, back then, I remember, so iMessaging, so there's just SMS, there was no iMessage. Like there weren't even iPhones, so I had like an LG, I had like, I don't know, some like flip up phone. I mean, like, it was fun. It was a good time, honestly. But I think I actually had the one that was like the T-Mobile, and it like would flip up and you could like walk around middle school and stuff. I was such a loser. The SMS was the only form of text messaging. Text messaging was a brand new thing when I was in middle school, and everyone was on AIM, right? You guys remember that? Like if you're born in like an early 90s baby, everyone was on SMS, we're on AOL, AIM Messenger, and text messaging then started to take over, except I didn't have text messaging because I did not have cellular service. And iMessage, I remember the day iMessage started, I think it was in high school at that point, I had an iPhone, and someone sent me a text and I got it, and I heard my phone go like ding, and I was like, oh my god, Jen, like screamed my sister. I was like, we got a text message. And it wasn't a text message, it was an iMessage, which uses Wi-Fi, and they were like the first ones to release messaging with Wi-Fi only without cellular data. So fun story, like that was my childhood. It was in a woodsy area of Connecticut, super beautiful, honestly. That's a huge thing that I miss about, it's just a big part of me that kind of is missing from New York. And if you live in a city and you grew up in a rural area, you can probably relate to just how constricting a city can sometimes feel. Like the fact that I cannot look, my eyes, like I can't see anything that's far away. Like you can't gaze into the distance in a city. There's too much stuff up close, like everything's always in your face. So I do need to get out of the city regularly. I try to get out once a week. That does not happen. It's more like once a month because life. But yeah, that's where I grew up. Oh, this list is getting into it now. Like it's not even like playing anymore. What are your favorite things? Actually, I'll get to that one. Who did you look up to growing up? My sister. I have an older sister. We're either 5 or 6 years apart, depending on what age we are. And she was always everything to me. I looked up to her so much, even though we're pretty different in terms of our interests. We have the same sense of humor. We love hanging out, and I just always wanted to be like her. Okay, now let's get into the deeper questions. What are your favorite things about yourself? Honestly, guys, I'm not here to brag, but I've done a lot of inner inside work to love myself, and I love myself. Like I really love my personality. I love that I'm a hard worker, that I have crazy high expectations. Something I've worked on myself in the last few years since starting a company, of course, is not being a perfectionist, which I've tackled head on, and I'm able to release things when they're 80% done, not 100% done, but still say, I gave 100% of myself to this work, and I 100% into the 80% done mark. That's how you can get it done. That's the rule I live by now. I love that I have an attitude that I could pretty much do anything I set my mind to. With, of course, being a competitive fencer, I'm not sure if you guys know, I was a competitive athlete at the international level. My goal was to go to the Olympics for 18 years, and I'm on a break right now. It's the first break I've really taken in my whole life. And yeah, just at a young age, being a sword fighter, being 9 years old, and petite and carrying a weapon and knowing how to use it, that was pretty empowering. So the things that I love about myself are probably my inner strength. I feel resilient, I am resilient, and I'm also, I'm not afraid to own that about myself. Another thing I do like about myself, I'm very loving and supportive. I really, really try to raise everyone who's around me up and give them as much of my energy that I can give. Which of your parents are you closest to, or are you more like? I'm close with both my parents. I've always been very open with them. They cultivated this amazing loving environment at a young age where we could talk openly about stuff like sex and insecurities, you know, hopes and dreams, fears, and I want to say my mom was the one who really set that precedent, and I'm really grateful for that, because I'm able to really communicate with my friends and in my relationship with Gary better, because I've been able to learn how to openly talk about these things from a young age. I'm definitely more like my mom. She is my mom she's a go-getter. She's very determined. She's always right. She is, not that I'm always right. My mom is always right. Wins every argument, argumentative. And then my sister's more like my dad. They're just more go with the flow. Me and my mom more like get it done, you know? So I try to learn that side from my dad, but I'm more inherently like wired to always be on, if you know what I mean. What is your best physical feature? Honestly, I haven't thought about this question in a really long time. I don't know. I guess I don't really think about that anymore. I mean, when you've been an athlete, when you've been on your fitness journey for so long, you're not doing it anymore for the physical, for like a particular, to feel good about yourself. You're not like, oh, like I'm insecure about this, so I'm gonna work on that. At least I'm not like that. I'm working out for my overall health now. I guess my best physical feature, I love my smile. I don't know why I said that like a question. I do love my smile. I like my bum. I've always had a bum that was nice, and it actually wasn't always the greatest thing, because I don't know if you guys remember, but pre-Kardashian years, bums were not cute. Like, it was not fun in middle school. Everyone said I had a big butt. It was from fencing. I was fencing, and it's fencing, you're holding a squat position all day. You got it. You're gonna have strong glutes as an athlete if you're, you know, training. And yeah, everyone was like, oh, you have such a big butt. I would be made fun of, like people would like slap it. It was kind of bad. And then in high school, like in college, like the script totally flipped, as you guys know. Like women's bodies, they just go so in and out of style. It's so unfair and wrong. But yeah, so I guess my butt, but that's more just something I've always identified with. What inspires you? Ooh, love this question. What inspires me? Powerful women and men who own themselves. Like, have you guys ever meet someone and they're so comfortable in their skin, like they're just like fully stepped into their skin. So I think it's really inspiring when you meet someone who is just like so dang comfortable in their body. I also am really inspired by people who are passionate. I don't care if you're passionate about like pipe cleaners or like felt. I don't know why I'm naming arts and crafts. Yeah, I don't care what it is that you're passionate about. If I meet someone and they're like just insanely passionate about something, I think that is so cool. Like I want them around my circle because passionate people do shit. They get stuff done. They push creativity to its limits. They release fresh content if they're into that. I just think when someone is like a little weird or has like a really fiery passion, you're gonna see cool things from them. You're gonna be inspired while you're around them. So yeah. What has required the most courage of you in your life so far? I'm gonna say two things that are relevant to me today. Taking a break from my sport was really hard for me. My identity was very much attached to it. I mean, just to give you guys a picture of what my life was like when I was competing at that level. And this started when I was 9 years old and then all the way through college. After college, working a full-time job in the corporate space, I was traveling every weekend to a place in the United States or a foreign country, like not a cool foreign country, like I'm not gonna shame any countries, but like obscure places around the world, events in World Cups or international events. And it was a lot of money. It was very hard to mentally stay on top of it. And my identity, one of the reasons why I was still doing it was because I was so caught in a future idea about myself that I would be somewhere that I had to keep going and fencing until I made it or something. Even though it wasn't what I wanted, it wasn't making me happy anymore, it wasn't bringing me joy. And so in this past summer, I fenced my last national event, brought my mom with me because my mom traveled with me everywhere for these events. It really brought us close, it made us best friends. And I was like, this might be the last one for a while. I mean, I'm on a break, extended break, but I'm loving my life now, and I don't think I'm gonna go back, but the courage it took me to finally say, okay, I'm done. I'm not doing this for anyone anymore. I'm not doing it for anyone. I'm quitting because I know I have to quit right now. That was really emotionally hard for me. And I know a lot of other fencers who have quit and it was just like, I'm done with this, peace. That was not my experience. It was very hard. The other time that I feel like I exhibited a lot of courage was starting Smalletics. I had a very cushy job in pharmaceuticals in Manhattan, and I was very miserable. And I decided that I always had this dream. I want to help petite women. I want to make this a reality for us. Not to mention, there's so much science backed behind fitness for petites, like that's not getting put out into the world. I really felt a calling to be that source of inspiration and knowledge for you guys. And I quit my job and started it, and that was pretty scary. But I'm here now and I would never take it back. What's your favorite song of all time? Love this question. My favorite song of all time is Float On by Modest Mouse. I wish I could play it here, but then copyright people will flag me. But go look it up. Every time, I just have this weird thing about this song. Every time I'm in a sad state, I'll hear it. It's the weirdest thing, you guys. Like, I'll be in a grocery store if I'm like not feeling well or something and something's bothering me and this song comes on. Or like, and it's been since I was really, really young. And Modest Mouse, I loved their music at a young age. I don't think I would love them if I found them today for the first time, but yeah, I just love that alternative rock. I loved their sound. I loved the emotion and the weirdness of them when I was a kid. And yeah, that's still my favorite song to date. I could listen to it and it changes my whole mood. This is interesting. Are you high maintenance? I am not high maintenance from a typical glamorous way. I mean, I'm wearing makeup right now. Probably wear this much makeup like once a week, maybe less. Most of the days I don't wear makeup. In like a glam, like girly way, I'm not. Like I can go a week without hair dryer, whatever. I don't need like the stuff, the material stuff. But I'm high maintenance in that I'm hard to please. I have pretty high expectations of my friends and my family and my boyfriend Gary. If he were sitting here, he would tell you. He knows. That's not to say I'm demanding. I'm not demanding in a cruel way. I want high energy around me. I want to see people achieve the success that they want for themselves. And when I'm encouraging, I would say. I really push my friends and my family to step into themselves, and only if they've communicated that's what they want. If they don't want to, that's okay. I'm not telling anybody how to live their life, but sometimes people come to me and they talk, my friends, Gary and I share our passions, our dreams all the time, and we're constantly trying to figure out how we can get to that next level and help each other. So I don't let my friends slack. I'm high maintenance in that I will hold people accountable for showing up in the world in the way that they would like to, and if they have expressed that to me, if that makes sense. Are you more likely to avoid conflict or engage it head on? I'm very direct. If you haven't figured that out already, I will engage head on in a very honest, open, and non-judgmental way. I don't want to make anyone feel bad. It's always just to be a better communicator. I don't see it as confrontational in the like argumentative way. I see it as just direct. Oh, I like this question. Can you close your eyes and raise your eyebrows? That's not even that hard. Come on, bring it. Can you touch your nose with your tongue? Absolutely not. Not even gonna try, you guys. I can do, actually I'm not gonna show you. Okay, I'll show you. I can do this thing with my tongue. Do you have a lot of friends or a small group of close friends? I am more of a small group of close friends rather than, in college I had a wider circle and I was more social in terms of, it was more of a priority for me to have a bigger group of friends I was less close with, but now that I'm in New York and time is very limited, I'm running my own business, I also don't have that many coworkers. I do have coworkers, but I'm not seeing them every day from 8 to 5. I've just kept my best friends close to me, and a lot of them don't even know each other, and it's a small group. Like it's like one hand or maybe 6 people, 7, maybe less. Yeah, so I'm definitely more of the one-on-one, close-knit friends you can really count on and can count on you. What is your star sign? I think that's astrology, right? I'm an Aries. I fit the Aries. Like, I am literally the exact definition of an Aries, like fire sign, competitive, assertive, fiercely independent. Yeah. What is something you look for in a partner? Great question. So I do have a boyfriend. His name is Gary. He is a ex-professional tennis player, and now he is coaching full-time. He pretty much has all the qualities of someone that I would want to be with in a long-term way. We've been together almost 4 years now. We met on Hinge, of all places, a dating app. I was on the dating app because back then this was my schedule back when I met Gary. Wake up, fence or work out. I would go to work for 10 hours, and then afterwards I would go to fencing practice and fence more, and then I would come home and eat and crash. That was my life. And I did not want to date another fencer because I had known them all since a very young age. I did not want to date my coworkers. And when else was I really gonna meet anyone like with that schedule? So I went on Hinge, and Gary was the very first date I went on Hinge. I went on dates before that on other apps, but he was like the first one on Hinge, and yeah, we started dating very soon afterwards, a few months after, and it's been great ever since. We live together in this apartment, and yeah, I love him so much. Would you ever consider living abroad? I actually did live abroad. I went to Spain. I lived in Sevilla, Spain, in the south of Spain for 6 months. It was pretty crazy time. I will tell you this small story. At the time I went abroad, I had a boyfriend. He broke up with me about a few weeks into my abroad trip, which left me pretty brokenhearted in the middle of a foreign country, staying with a stay-in family. So I had a Spanish mom, no one spoke English. And what I decided to do was go back to the one thing I knew, which was fencing. And I started fencing at this local club in Seville. And Seville's it's a city, but it's more rural than other Spanish cities. Not like Madrid, it's not as international, it's pretty Spanish. And I was also going to the Universidad de Sevilla, which was full Spanish classes, taking philosophy classes. So I made it hard for myself, needless to say. The transition was super tough. And I met a fencer there who basically made my time there so much easier, because fencing is sort of like a language. It's a sport, and you don't have to be able to speak the same language to play together. So I was able to play and express myself and communicate non-verbally, which was such a beautiful thing that the sport was able to give me. I could make friends that way instead of, you know, at first. And then I obviously became pretty fluent by the end. I still understand like 95% of Spanish, but my recall of vocabulary is very bad. So if I go to try to respond, it's like horrible. I feel bad for people when I don't even try. I should probably get back into it, but like I can watch Spanish TV. I just can't respond. I can't express complex things or communicate my humor very easily anymore, which is a bummer. What is the worst grade you got on a test? Oh my god, you guys. But actually, that brings like the scariest, most horrific story to light. I dropped out of this class. This was animal physiology. I took my first, we call them prelims at Cornell. I took my first midterm prelim. I think I got an 8%, you guys. Holy shit. I remember why I blocked this out of my memory. I got an 8% and then the teacher came on stage and was like, the average was 15%, or like, it was really low. It was like 12% was like the median average. And so I got a B because I was only like a few points below the average, or the highest grade. I remember how they do that. Like, I've been out of college for a while, but yeah, my heart like dropped and then it like came back to life in that like 10 seconds. I also dropped out of that class because like I'm not going to be in a class where the average is like less than a 15%. That's so hard. Like, that's just too much. Oh, well, also I would do it if it was something I loved, but I knew I was moving out of the sciences and into I actually transferred into the College of Arts and Sciences, which is a liberal arts college, to study science and technology studies, which was exactly what I loved. I'm sort of a nerd. I really love philosophy, science. I love studying about technology and culture and art and like the fusion of the three, which is how I ended up in pharmaceuticals. Actually, I was a copywriter, so my job was in the creative department to like take science and make it fun. So I'm actually really good at that. I just don't love it in a corporate sense. So yeah, that was my worst grade ever. What is something you wish you were gifted at doing? Probably YouTube. What is the last book you read? I just finished The Abundance Project by Derek Rydell. Incredible book. The Abundance Mindset. That book is all about creating the conditions for you to thrive just within your own head. And yeah, I would highly recommend that book. And one of my goals for 2019 is to listen to one book a month on an audio format, because reading I don't have time for. So yeah, that's the first one I read. I actually read it in December. So for January, I think I'm going to read a book on creativity. I'm not sure yet. If you have any good recs, let me know. So guys, if you are liking and enjoying this video so far, I would love it if you gave it a like and subscribe for future videos. I'm going to do a few more questions and then we'll wrap it up. What is your strongest sense? This is funny, you guys. I have this uncanny nose. It's like, it sounds cool. Maybe no, it does not sound cool. It's just really weird. I remember in my old house growing up, we had a dog and a cat, and if the dog pooed anywhere in the house, the minute I set foot in our house, I would know what room, if he pooped, and what exact room he pooped in. Like, I could smell it. It is so weird. I've always had like very high sensory, I guess, sensitivity. And this even brought me to like, I would not leave the house as a child without a massive sun hat and sunglasses. Like, I was a little freak. And even at the doctor, even now, whenever I go into the doctor, they're like, holy crap, your pupils are huge. And they're probably small now because I have a light on and it closes my pupils, but naturally my pupils are large. Like, my eyes will sometimes just like look black. And they literally are open wider than other people's, so they let in a lot more sunlight, which is why I have to like, I can't, like in any photo someone takes outside, I'm like, like I'm the squinting queen. I can't, like, you cannot force I cannot. Oh, I've tried so hard, you guys. The struggle is so real trying to take like a nice outdoor Instagram picture, because I will just be like, everything's on point, and then my eyes are just like, If you could give your younger self any advice, what would it be? I don't know, like, it's almost, oh, my contact. It's almost like another way of asking, do you have any regrets? Which I don't. But I think I would just encourage my young self to not be afraid, to just not, I just remember high school was hard for me. I was traveling like crazy for fencing, which means I missed out on a lot of social events, prom, parties, and I had friends, but I care a lot about what people thought of me, and it took me a while to grow out of that. I think I would just go back and just tell myself, like, just be you, just do you, which is really hard to do in high school, but that makes life a lot easier. I know that comes naturally to some people and other people have to work at it, but I also don't regret that it took me a while to step into myself, and I'm still working on it. I'm still being myself, because I think you have to really, I was talking about this on Instagram the other day, you have to grow through things to get to the destination. Like they say, every flower grows through dirt. I really think you have to go through. The only way there is through. You can't go around. You got to have these life experiences to get to that place. So I would just encourage myself to keep going, because I wouldn't want to be anywhere else other than where I am today. All right, I'm looking for one final question to wrap this bad boy up. Ooh, which one should I choose? Would you rather do cardio or lift weights? That's appropriate, right? Lift weights, girls. Lifting weights is so much more empowering and important for you as a petite woman, and I won't get into that right now, but of course I have so many videos on that. I love strength training. It's totally transformed my life. We'll end it on that fitness note. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was really fun. I hope you enjoyed getting to know me a little bit better. If you have any questions, you can drop them below. And please give this video a like and a thumbs up, and I think that's the same thing, and subscribe. I'm not even gonna try to do that again. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.